And when you go back and life is hard, don't forget that's why you're here. But let me ask you a question. How many of you know what it feels like to be in the grind? Come on, let me see the hands. Yeah. Now let me ask you this question. What does it feel like to be in that grateful grind? Do you know what that is? That's the grind that leads to options, right? 1 year ago, the day that I signed up to be a rank maker, I was standing in my backyard on the phone, about to dial my husband and tell him that I'm quitting on network marketing because I was miserable. But just 4 years before that, you guys, someone introduced a product to me that I felt brought me back as a mom and wife, and I felt like everybody in the world needed it. So I worked my tail feathers off, and I made $10,000 in the first month. I went on to pay off $50,000 worth of debt in the first year, and that boulder was gone off my shoulders, and I had options. And those options led to a phone call from my dad's doctor that said, your dad just had a mini stroke, but he's okay, but it's time for him to move in with you. So I called my dad, and I said, Dad, it's time. And he said, yes. And boy, did my heart soar. But because we had options, we were able to sell our house, get into a new house, and bring my daddy down from 62 years of living in a big butt U-Haul and start our life. And that night, my dad sat me and my husband down and said, thank you. I love you, and you have given me another opportunity to start my life over. It's a brand new chapter. And I am so proud because I feel like I did it right. You're awesome. And I said, you're awesome. And we hugged, and I went to bed, and I was on cloud 9. That next morning, guys, I bounded down those stairs to start that new life. And my dad had passed away in his sleep. Very peacefully. Wasn't peaceful for me. I spiraled out of control, and I was angry. 3 months later, we lost our house and everything in it in a flood. And then that anger was turned to God. I was done. I was a walking corpse. And you know what, guys? I didn't care to win anymore. But if I'm really honest, I didn't care if my team won. So I started seeing them fall off one at a time. I didn't care. Lost a leg to a nasty divorce. Just one after another, and my heart wouldn't move. And so it found me in that backyard again, ready to call my husband to say, I'm giving up, and my husband doesn't let me back out of anything. So I knew that he would take me serious, and this would be it. I dialed that phone, and when he said hello, I stopped breathing, and I thought, if not this, then what? So I hung up on my husband. Totally. I picked up the phone, and I called another person in my company that was killing it, and I said, dude, what are you doing? Beep! My husband's calling back in. I'm like, come on, you got to help me, man. I'm in the grind. He's like, girl, it's just the grind. You're going to be okay. I said, what are you doing? Beep! Well, I met this guy. He's amazing. I saw him at an event. I started following him. He's been helping my team. His name is Beep! Ray Higdon. I'm like, I've heard of his name. Oh, my goodness. So, guys, that night, I immediately became a rank maker. I did every single thing Ray said in his Ray dailies. And within 3 months, I tripled my income. I tripled my team. I went on to rank up 5 times, but let me tell you the most important thing. The day before I found Rankmakers and I made that call to my friend, my husband and I sat down and we had a talk. And that talk was about us borrowing money to get through the end of the year because we didn't have anything. I let it all go. But on December 21st, I was taking my kids to school. It was 7 a.m., and my phone dinged, and I looked down, and there it was, my bank account. My company deposited my check, and it was the biggest check I'd ever seen in network marketing. And so I immediately texted Ray Higdon, and I said, thank you. This is going to be the best Christmas my family has ever seen. But let me tell you something. It's all because of that grateful grind. When I lost that gratefulness, it became hard. So know that that grateful grind is going to lead to your options, and those options are going to lead to a lifestyle and a life for your family and your legacy that you can't even imagine. So with that, allow me to introduce you to my mentor and my hope dealer, Ray Higdon. Woo! Yes! Thank you, Ray, for everything.
Wait. You awesome? Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Red personality. Done with music. We're good. Okay. Great. Isn't that awesome? Just like, and I remember, reading the story of, her, the kids having a great Christmas for the first, or the best Christmas they'd ever had.
Christmas, yeah.
It's just so cool. It's just so cool. These stories exist in your teams all over.
Yeah.
All over. There's people looking for hope. There's people looking for help. And all we got to do is reach them. So give her a hand.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm really excited.